get a good color grade. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? Welcome back. And I have a problem on my hands. I forgot how to really use Premiere Pro, which is really concerning because I spent a lot of time learning Premiere Pro and I haven't forgot it. I just forgot those small little fine tunes, those small little details that you need to really take your video editing to the next level. So I used to have a Skillshare and I would watch videos on that a lot. A YouTube account called Cinecom. Great videos, great content. I highly recommend it for you all if you're trying to learn Premiere Pro, After Effects. They have tons of cool videos, really informational. So I was editing a video the other day and I realized that the video was pretty bland. It was pretty boring. It wasn't up to my standards that I had been previously doing. And I started looking through the effects tab and I'm like, man, I don't know what effect to use. I don't know which effects I used to use. I took too long of a gap of a break in between on Premiere Pro. I was focused on After Effects more, a lot of stuff in Photoshop, and kind of just lost touch a bit with Premiere Pro. So yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks, but that's fine, because now we're just gonna go back to the basics. Hold on a second, dog. So now we're just gonna go back to the basics and dive back into Premiere Pro, learn different techniques, different effects. I really wanna learn some cool music video effects for these workout videos that I'm gonna start to make for you all. Excited for that. So this week, the big things we have, as my dog is like running around everywhere here, the big things for this week so far, we have our miniature figures. Every single day we're posting one, no matter what, without fail. Been doing that now for the last few days, so we're going really well with that. Next, Premiere Pro, learning effects. I'm gonna learn 3 new effects this week to be able to implement and put into my videos. Next, workout push-up challenges. We got those things coming. I already got mine in for today. We're gonna keep pushing through that. So those are the main focuses for this week. We got our Premiere Pro, our miniature figures, and our workouts. And then on top of that, just always trying to better ourselves, finding my purpose. Got a side hustle that I'm gonna start to really just dive in on 100%, and we're gonna go with that. So appreciate y'all sticking through. Let's get this money. What's up, everybody? So like I was saying, I forgot Premiere Pro, forgot a lot of those small fine-tuned stuff. Good thing I made a note sheet. I highly recommend this if you're trying to learn Premiere Pro or just any software. Make a note sheet of what you learned and the shortcuts. Those shortcuts are there for a reason, you all. In the beginning, I used to not really use the shortcuts. I was like, it's fine, I'll kind of go about it my own way. You need those shortcuts. It makes your editing skills 10 times better, and it also makes things 10 times faster when you can just use a shortcut. Still had those in my notes, so that was very encouraging there. Now, next, one of the biggest things too with video editing that in the beginning I didn't really realize as much as well was color grading. Color grading is so important, but even more important than the color grading itself, in my opinion, is now, one of the most important things that you guys are gonna have to do when you're making these videos in Premiere Pro, one of the first things that I think is important, the first thing, but very important to learn, is color grading. Color grading is so essential that your footage looks on point, your colors look good, it's not too exposed, not underexposed, it's not orange or blue. You have a nice, good color grade on there. Now, color grading is not my expertise. There are people who specialize in this stuff, which is another thing that I didn't know. We'll have to get into that on another video, but people specialize in color grading, audio, lighting, just camera, just editing. All of those have a specialization with people who just dedicate to that subject. So make sure you guys are color grading, but one of the things that'll help you out when you're color grading is having your lighting set up on point as well. Because if it's too exposed, if your light's too high, when you're color grading, it's gonna be that much harder. But if you have your lights in a good setup, when you color grade, you won't have to do as much work with that. So color grading and lighting is something that I'm definitely gonna have to touch up on, make sure that I'm good with that. Next, like I already hit on the shortcuts, Another thing that I did just want to talk about as well was the effects. Now, effects are extremely important when you're making videos. You don't want too much, but at the same time, you gotta have something to kind of spice up that video. But you have to be aware of which platform you are using. When you're using TikTok, you might not want to have too many effects. You might just want to keep it natural. That's one of the beauties of TikTok. You have that raw footage. Like I just pulled my camera out and recorded it. Versus on YouTube, or if you're making a short film or something for your portfolio, you want something more official. That's when you really want to have your lighting, your color grading, some nice effects, an intro, outro, different things like that to make your video really come together. Like I mentioned, I really want to focus on effects this week. I'm going to learn 3 new effects. I'll have to update you all on which effects that I'm going to learn, but I'm pretty excited for this. Premiere Pro is one of my favorites. It's not my favorite. I think After Effects is definitely my favorite. After Effects, Premiere Pro, and then probably Photoshop last. But it is pretty crazy because I was really editing on Premiere Pro, looking around like, oh boy, like lost a little bit of a touch with that. So that just comes to play. You can't ever take your foot off the gas, no matter what. Even if you're working on other projects, if you're working on, learning other softwares, other skills, you have to still make sure you're refining your old skills and other things that you used to do, or you're gonna lose it. Like you don't lose it completely, but it just won't be as second nature as it once was. Like how for me, I used to hop on Premiere, boom, bust it out. And now I maybe have to go on YouTube for a few things that I wanna learn. And that's not the end of the world, but it does take time. And when you're editing, you want things to be smooth, you want things to be fast. You don't wanna spend 30 minutes looking up how to do an effect or how to do a certain edit on your video. So guys, those are the things that we have going for this week. Premiere Pro is a big one because we're gonna be posting those workout videos for you all this week. I'm really gonna try and throw something together that's pretty neat, pretty cool for you all. So appreciate y'all stepping by, everybody. Carried by Code. Let's go.